I would like to welcome you to the Truett Area Crime Watch in our White Rock East neighborhood. To my first and hopefully not my last interview of persons that are connected or appropriate to what is in the future of our community until we're at the point of at least having public meetings again. Truett Area Crime Watch would like to welcome Neighborhood Co-Representative Emery Blackburn. Mr. Blackburn, give us a little insight on who you are and what made you decide to become a code officer.
Yes, so I appreciate you all for having me. As Mr. Turner it said, my name is Emery Blackburn. I am a father of two. One is already here and one is on the way. I have been with code enforcement for about 3 years now. I do have prior history working with customer service and in that field. So that was one thing that led me into wanting to become a code enforcement officer. Most importantly, working within the community, very personable person. Also, I enjoy servicing people and servicing individuals who are in need of assistance. And a lot of assistance I know is needed and wanted, and definitely needs the attention from all counterparts and all parts that go into this thing we call a community.
What are your East Dallas boundaries that you're assigned to?
I am currently assigned to the Northeast Central District and also assigned to the North Central District with code enforcement. So most of my districts would consist of pretty much District 8 through District 13 throughout the city of Dallas.
Okay. And so, can I take it for granted since we are in District 7, which
hmm
is from basically Ferguson Road over to La Prada, from John West to Oates? Is that an area that you cover?
Yes, that is also an area I cover as well.
Um, with your expertise, is it single family homes, apartments, or businesses?
We address all are within that area. More so single family dwellings, but also we do have a mixture of the apartment complexes as well as the businesses as well. Me being on the general code enforcement side, I will more so be handling our single family homes and the businesses. And then we have a separate department, which is considered to be our multi tenant department there that handles our apartment complexes and things of that nature there. But with the license that we do have and that I do have as a code enforcement officer, I do have the ability to address any concerns that would take place within an apartment complex as well.
What are some of the most important violations in our White Rock East neighborhood?
I would have to say, since I've been in the area here for about the past 3 months or so, a little bit over 3 months, going on 4. I would say more so what I've ran into is litter. I've ran into some homeless activity as well. Actually, been dealing with a lot of homeless activity
Okay.
that's been taking place. It is greater than what it may have been. No, we are seeing it a whole lot more, of course, due to the recent and current pandemic that we're currently going through, as we, have seen that affect a number of things, but more so litter and also just the homeless activity as well. And I look forward to, being able to discover more.
Once about a time, officers were addressing violations as they see them. Is this a practice being in effect today? And any thoughts if it's not ineffective, why?
We are always encouraged by our management and anybody, also our director, to address things proactively. Proactive, when we're able to address things proactively, then that allows us to be a lot more present and effective within the neighborhoods. If in the event we aren't addressing anything proactively, normally in 10 times out of 10, that is a directive that has come from either management or our director, and our attention has been taken, to other places. Just to give you guys an example, recently, again, just going back to what we're going through right now with the pandemic, we were assigned to address businesses. So we were kind of removed out of our neighborhoods, and we weren't able to be as present as we normally would have been because our focus had shifted, and we, provided some attention into slowing down the spread of the coronavirus. Now, and I would say probably about a month and a half, if not two, we have been directed to go back to addressing code 100% of the time there. And, we still address those businesses when we can, but we are definitely more present within the community. So proactive work should uh, have definitely taken place as we are also catching up as well.
Good, good. Are you familiar with the Nextdoor website? And if so, have code considered using Nextdoor to keep our neighborhoods up to date on violations?
I am familiar with the Nextdoor website. We have not, I have not known anyone to utilize it. I know myself personally, I have not utilized it as of yet, but I can definitely see where it can be a great help. That is also one of the reasons why the position that I currently hold as the neighborhood code representative is to figure out creative ways that we can be, a lot more effective within the neighborhoods, and not just, creative ways of being effective or anything, but that line of communication. Because a lot of times our neighbors aren't able to reach out to the inspector that's within the area that they're assigned. A lot of times they're not able to get in contact with management or supervisors or anything of that nature there. And that's where I come in place. And so being able to sit down with you all and work alongside you all in the near future would definitely allow myself to take a look into that and also see how that can bridge the gap of communication between code enforcement and the neighborhood.
The mayor of Dallas commented on his State of the City address that our code officers are stretched. Can you explain or give us an idea how stretched Dallas code officers are, if that's still the case?
I would say that statement may have came in light of, again, the pandemic. You know, as we all know, it has affected all of our lives in some way. It has stopped some things, such as these meetings. That would normally take place in person. Where we will meet up at a local library or anything like that. It's definitely uh, made a huge impact on us. So I would just say currently at this time, after going back to doing code 100% of the time there, we also have individuals that are working overtime in order to address concerns that we may have not been able to address within a timely manner prior.
What is one of the biggest issues facing code officers in executing their responsibility?
I would um I would just say manpower. Manpower.
Okay,
That
okay,
that that would be that's what I would say because um the more the better.
okay,
The more the
okay,
better. And I've been as when I was an inspector full time, I have I've seen and I know officers who take on a major task in covering multiple census tracts, and not just census tracts that are aren't busy. We're talking about very, very busy for needs a lot of attention. And so I would just say that's why I would say manpower. The more bodies, I can see that being a whole lot better and us being a lot more effective. And again, addressing things within a timely manner.
How often are code officers threatened in executing their duties?
Um, I'm not sure. I haven't
Okay,
heard,
okay.
I haven't gotten too many stories on anybody being threatened. You know, of course, you're gonna always run into some individuals who may be upset that we're visiting their property. Of course, everybody's thing is you can't tell me what to do. This is my property. This is my home. But once you provide that education and get them to understand your reasoning and your purpose for being out there, and the purpose that we serve within the community, that tends to make things a whole lot better.
Um, Naturally, we are a crime watch organization. We definitely understands the importance of code in our quality of life. Do you feel code enforcement has a responsibility, since y'all guys are out in the field, to address public safety in the neighborhood that they are responsible for?
When you say public safety, could you elaborate on that just a bit?
Naturally, you know that there's a large amount of thefts from porch pirates, or cars following UPS and Amazon, or boarded up houses that may be a nuisance. And you run across this stuff periodically, I'm quite sure. Do you think
Hmm.
that this is something that, while code officers are out and about, that's something that could be reported to actually help the police in the neighborhood out? Just as a few examples.
Oh yes, most definitely. If you see any, I feel that if you see anything and you understand that is outside of the norm, report it because it can definitely be of assistance. Also, I feel we can be of assistance as far as
Okay.
code is concerned by making sure that those abandoned houses and those vacant properties are kept up. So anytime we see any overgrown vegetation or anything of that nature there, get that stuff cut. Address those concerns so that that property is a lot more open and visible to anybody who are neighboring property to it, so that they're able to see any activity or whatever the case may be that's taking place. Anytime you got tree limbs, bushes, high weeds, litter, or anything like that, that's an invitation. And so, as long as we're able to address those concerns and keep those properties upkept, even though they are vacant, I know for a fact that'll definitely stop some of the activity, the criminal activity, and things like that that takes place. And again, if you see anything that's outside of the norm, I will report it now, because we do not have the correct armor or gear or protection. We are always advised to not approach anybody or to not address a concern head on or take matters into our own hands. And so you can definitely still be of assistance from a distance.
For our members, give us a walkthrough of a violation like illegal dumping, from the call to 311 until the violation is assigned to you, all the way through the end process or completion.
So once that call comes in the 311, it is then funneled down to the area inspector. Once that inspector receives that as a duty, they're going to go out and conduct the inspection. During that inspection, we are instructed to kind of go through that trash and things like that, and see if we're able to find any signs of traceable evidence. That may be some mailing or anything like that with some type of information on it. Also, ask neighbors. Speak with neighbors, or see if they may have some type of surveillance or anything of that nature there, to try and figure out and find out who caused the dumping. Is it a normal thing? Is it is it a reoccurring problem? Is it the same individuals? A lot of times neighbors are able to tell you, who it's coming from or where it's coming from, if it's something that continues to happen. At that point, we'll take whatever information that we've gathered from the inspection to the marshals, fire marshals, the Dallas fire marshals. Once we pass it on, not fire marshals, I'm sorry, to our Dallas marshals, police, the marshals. And so once we pass it along to those guys there, then they go out and if we have any information such as a license plate or anything that can lead them to address the individual who caused it, they'll go out and they'll do what it is that they'll do. Normally, probably a citation or file down, but we have to have that traceable evidence. If in the event legal nothing is taking place and it's in the act, we always ask that the
Just a note, look like we're losing our connection. Keep going.
Okay. So we ask that individuals, if in the event legal nothing is taking place, we ask the individual that's reporting it to take a pic, anything like that. Again, we don't recommend anybody to approach anyone head on, but the picture and as much information as possible to provide to us. Then at the time, what we'll do is refer it over to our team, and we'll go out and clean it up.
Okay, well, naturally, you're kind of fading out, so I'm gonna try to end this. So our Crime Watch members would like to catch up with you. What is your contact information?
I can be reached via email at Emory, EMORY, .Blackburn, it's BLACKBURN, @LSD.com. And also be reached by phone at 469-096. I'll repeat that again. Email is at Blackburn@LSD.com or by phone at 469-15-096.
Okay, so naturally you're fading out. In closing, any last comments or thoughts you would like to make to our community?
Look forward to you guys. And all that are going on this time. Hey,
Well, it seems as though we have lost him. In
all right.
closing, oh, that's okay. In closing,
Yeah.
thank you for your comments. Until next time, stay safe and healthy. And remember,
Yes, sir.
Crime Watch do not take a day off. I want to thank you for joining us.
I appreciate you for allowing me, for having me on today, Mr. Turner. You have a good day.
You too.